What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat. We are here today with the next episode of Legend of Grimrock, in which we are delving into the depths of Goro Morg Temple, which appears to have just a ton of dinosaurs and stuff in it, which is a little bit horrifying. It's not enough to throw me off my A game, though, so I think we're probably going to get into some world-class... I'm pretty sure world-class screw-ups are on the way, and I don't know, my tongue is feeling tied to it. What is this? I heard something. I think that sound, it's making like a, I don't know, there's like a slam noise happening, but where have I not been? That's usually a good place to start. And so in the previous episode, we had fought some dinosaurs, we had eaten their steaks because their steaks were especially delicious. It was like, oh yeah, let me get up in that steak. I love steak. I mean, there is always something at stake in my house, and usually it's with an EAK, not an AKE. All you gotta do is you gotta move things around. Just moving one E can turn something from a liability into a delicious meat-filled supper. What's going on in there? It looks like there's a brick wall in there. Nothing happened right there. Let's keep an eye out for little runey things. I suppose we'll just pace around for a little bit. Obviously, I'm off the hook for clicking the hooks and whatnot. You got me. I mean, that was a successful trolling every now and again. That's why I'm so paranoid as an LPer, is every now and again, you just get trolled, and that's all there is to it. You just can't resist. It just happens. Because your ignorance of the game comes out, and people just take advantage of it. And so you got to look at the funny side of the whole thing. It's like, I clicked hooks and chains for 20 episodes on Bad Advice. Maybe this over here... Well, it's got that little symbol-y thing up above it, so I usually think that means that there's a rune around that you have to click in order to make that door open, although it might just be there sort of arbitrarily. I don't really know. What is this? Okay, so we've been down this way. Where was that switch at again? The switch was... I've lost the switch. It's sort of like losing the plot, but slightly more terrifying. Okay, so we got a corner back here. I should have marked that switch. Now I'm gonna... Ooh. It was over here somewhere that just happened. There it is. I heard it out. Ooh, spiky. We got like some sap gloves. Yeah, those are dope. Are those for unarmed fighters? Is that what that's for? Let's find out. Protection +3, strength +2, attack power +6 when unarmed. That's pretty awesome. Those are really, really cool. I like how they put items in the game that actually benefit somebody that wanted to do like a monk build, for example, where you don't have any weapons. I remember reading when I try to do a little bit of initial research whenever I play a game on like builds and things of that nature, so that I generally know that I'm not making like a terrible character or whatever. Because I never want to have to end an LP series. It's one of my big fears is that I'll have to end an LP series someday based on the fact that I made a character that was just unviable. Like the character just sucked, you know what I mean? And you just can't progress any further. And while games like that don't come around very often anymore, they used to be all over the place. I remember God, back in the day, I'm having trouble thinking of specific games right now, but it was easy in a lot of games back in the olden days to make a character that was just... That opened a gate somewhere behind us. I heard it. So we'll have to go back. It opened a gate. I heard it briefly. I just heard a little bit of the clinkering and tinkering that the gates like to make. Oh, it did that one right there. Okay. And so we've got a scroll of lightning bolt. And unfortunately, my guess is that probably does not enchant our bolts with lightning. But one thing that I did need to do, hold on, let me look back up in here. Enchant fire arrow works on that right there. So let me open him up. Not literally. Obviously, I'm not going to cut you open in order to cast this spell. But what I want to do is we'll put that in his inventory, and we'll get rid of these fire arrows for a second. He needs arrows or quarrels in his hand. Okay, so put that right there then. And it was... What was it? I forgot already. I'm bad at Simon. Oh yeah, it made flame bolts. That'll be awesome. That'll probably help out later on. You guys had mentioned that in the comments, how I was kind of wasting my time not doing that properly. You'd also mentioned something about being able to rotate this corner one around or something like that, and it would make different elements. So if I take like that right there, that might do like an ice, and if I move it over here, it might do like a lightning, and if I move it over to here, it does like poison or something like that. I'll have to keep that in mind for later, because he does have the skills required to do ice quarrels at this point, so it might be worth doing. Everything that we're fighting on this floor, though, is largely related to ice, and so I'm trying to stay away from that at the moment. Let's have a look through here, make sure that I didn't miss anything, because I know that I'm chatting every now and again. I am a chatty Cathy when it comes, and it's weird. It's the weirdest thing ever, because I talk a lot in my LPs by comparison to other LPers. People always like, damn, you talk a lot, unsubscribed. And I get that comment so often, like people just don't like that, and that's fine. I realize that my commentary is not for everybody. If you have a thin skin about that sort of thing, oh, it's a dinosaur. No, I don't want to yield any space to him right now. I want all the space to be mine because he's scary and dinosaur-y. I'm gonna move over. Ooh, got ourselves like a little crit right there. Yeah, hit him in the face with an axe. I'm just gonna let him like do his thing. Like he can come around wherever he wants. He can channel his inner collie buds. That song gets me going. I get hyped to that song. That's one of my favorite songs. Finally the app come around. I like that song. Like I realize that there's a certain amount of irony in somebody that lives in Babylon listening to music that like is opposed to Babylon. But at the same time, I like it a lot, and that song is awesome. I mean, the song itself is not opposed, but there are other songs by the same artist that are sort of the same way. Not a lot, but at the same time, I realize that, you know, Rastafarian beliefs are very much kind of counterculture to the culture that I live in. That's fine. I can accept that. I just wanted to listen to an awesome bumping song with deep-ass bass about weed. That's all that I really cared about there. So it's kind of checking enough of the boxes to where I'm not upset with myself. So I don't see anything. I hear the sound of something off to the right. Like something is making like a top, top, top. It's got like a syncopated tap, the tap, tap, the tap, 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 the tap, tap, the tap, tap, ding. It's got like some kind of like rhythm going to it, which is really sort of capturing me. Since I was a kid, I've had like a 4/4 beat running in my head, just nonstop, like tick, 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 just running. And I don't know how to make that go away. It's just been there forever. And so when I hear something that's rhythmic, I tend to really, really like it. I'm actually just gonna like shoot this dinosaur because he's scary and he makes me upset. We'll fight him. I will fight you, dinosaur, if that is what you desire. For 27 points of damage. 30? Dinosaur, why do you wound me thusly? Why do you wound me thusly? Oh my god, we're still queued up from the previous spell. Okay. That's unfortunate. We are all out of ammus. Someday I desperately hope that there's a game that has the ammu, which is an emu that shows up, or an emu, I suppose if you wanted to say it properly. Like an emu that shows up, but he's got like ammo packs all over him, and you can get ammo back from the ammu. I mean, that's something that I've really wanted to see in a video game for a long time, and I feel like my life would be better for it. That's right, Dino. Come get some. Come get some, Dino. Not some of me, though. Some of this flame spell. Oh, I ran into a wall. I wish that maybe there is a mini-map, but I always find myself wishing I could look at the map somehow on my screen so that I could, like, maneuver backwards and know which direction I should turn to get away from the enemy. Okay, so here he is again, causing us all kinds of pain and misery. There are a lot of these dinosaurs around. I should just stand my ground for a little bit. I don't think anybody's going to die anyways. And as I say that, he's probably going to crit me and kill somebody instantaneously. Yeah, he wiped out my rogue. My rogue is thoroughly wiped. I'm going to step back to here, I guess. I could end up getting pinned in this corner. This is probably a horrible, horrible plan. Oh, we're getting another clockwork message. You need to be careful. They live here, and they will want to stop you. They fear you might undo their vision. Their vision, huh? I mean, I'm not an optical surgeon, so I'm not really sure that I have the skills necessary to undo somebody's vision, aside from, like, pure violence, but you know what, I'm going to dig deep, I'm going to see if I can find the talent and the skill set required in order to remove someone else's vision, and I'm going to go with that because you're a ghost that's talking to me in my sleep. It's going to be funny if that's two-room that's... Oh, and look. See? That dinosaur almost stumbled upon us. We almost had a serious problem with dinosaurs. Stop biting my rogue, damn it. I mean, I have lots of food because all of you kind of drop your meat after I destroy you. Just a little hint, if you're looking for gratification, drop the meat before I kill you. Hedgerow Hank is leveled up once again. We've got a golden key. A key made of gold. With a chocolate center. How delightfully decadent. We'll go back over here. Oh, Hedgerow leveled up. I thought Hedgerow was my mage for a reason. He's Randolph. I don't know why I thought that for a second. It's been a long journey. And we finally made it to Flurry of Slashes. I think I'm probably just going to try and max him out. We got him up to heavy armor. I think it would be nice to get him a little bit further, but I think I'm just going to focus on one thing at a time here. I've heard that at the end of the game you have enough to max out 2 trees and like half of another if you've really been killing a whole lot of stuff. I haven't eaten any pie yet. I don't know if, you know, we need to chow down on any of the 3.14 whatevers right now, but what is that? The Circlet of War. Just in case you want lovely headgear while you go into battle. Battle. Accuracy. Oh, never mind. That's the... I got the wrong thing here. Strength +3 and protection +1. I'm rocking the Helm of Valor right now, so I'm going to be honest. I'm not really... It might be good for her, though, although she needs protection as well. Strength does affect a lot of what she does. I think we'll hold on to it for right now. Let's kind of keep an eye on it, and if we end up like getting rid of the kite and armor for whatever reason, we don't have any set bonuses or anything, but I do feel like protection is probably a better plan. With the way she keeps getting laid out every single time we get in a fight, it does make me nervous lowering any of her defensive abilities, so... I don't hear anything right now, so I guess I'll leave that alone. I'm hoping that this floor isn't as bad as like the vault and the other floor previously where the whole thing was just riddled with random stuff to find and like weird little puzzles and things. I guess I'll go this way first. So there's a very, very suspicious looking door with a chain hanging next to it. I'm not going to ring the bell right now because who knows who's going to come back and knock on it. Or I'm sorry, who's going to come answer. They shouldn't knock back. That would be a little bit weird. Like, ding dong, knock knock. It's just like, well. So we've got an explosive over here in a room that looks primed to booby trap the hell out of me. I don't see any clickables in here. I guess there's nobody trying to murder me. Not positive right now. Got the throwing knives right there. Randolph's rocking the double mage idea, or the double mage items at the moment. I think it might be a good idea to maybe give her shurikens for when she runs out of bolts. And we can just swap those in real fast. I wish they had like a quick item pouch, like a third item right here that wasn't technically equipped, like you couldn't throw from it, but you could grab it real quick and move it into one of these slots just as like an extra movement. I mean, then again, as somebody that complains about... Wait, she's still wearing... Alright. Well, do I have anything that I could equip her with that's like a little bit better? She needs light armor, I guess. Okay. Well, did I have her with throwing skills at all? No, she's just kind of got them for extra oomph, I suppose. Nobody has throwing weapons. Alright. Just kind of refreshing myself right now because there do tend to be gaps. This area is really, it's kind of a large detour to run down to not find anything, so I'm a little bit worried that I'm missing a secret up in here, but I guess I'll just continue forward. That closes that. Does it do anything back here? No. Alright, so not really being too sure what that does. Let's go back and investigate some of these areas and see... Do they close each other? No, they just close themselves. Alright. So I'm a little bit weird about what that might mean. I didn't hear the sound of anything else moving around though, so maybe it's like a fallback point where if I get ambushed I could run back there and close the gate and just tackle things one by one. I don't get this opportunity a lot in this game, so it is nice to take advantage of it once it's here. Nothing on the walls. Nothing on those two either. Not seeing anything pertinent on that wall either. I suppose these probably go out in separate directions. And then on this side... I don't know. In the early game, I wasn't too nervous about like pulling levers and things. But as I've gotten further into the game and I've realized like how far the cookie can crumble and how far down the rabbit hole we can go with like random switches doing random things, I'm going to admit that I've become paranoid about flipping switches now because they often manipulate things that are way off on the other side of the dungeon that you're not even sure what you're doing anymore. It's like a mosaic right there. I suppose there's probably not anything to click on that. At least I hope there's not, because I'm not going to sit here and stare at it for 20 minutes. We've got a golden key with a terrifying looking room. It's not for that lock. The outer sanctum. Okay. Another mosaic. Maybe this key is for the inner sanctum, and we've got to get the other key from somewhere up in here. No idea. Never been to this dungeon before, so we're definitely blind flying here. I guess I'll take this turn first. Got a couple of tar beads right there. No buttons to be pressed, nothing to be manipulated or moved around in that corner, so I think we're all right here. Check this one. Nothing over there, nothing right here either. Okay. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Dungeon delving has definitely... We started this thing off as sort of like newbies to the whole dungeon delving experience. And at this point, I feel like my adventures are probably pretty far down the line. I mean, what level are we at? Level 12? So yeah, we're leveling up appropriately. What does this say? The pillared hallway. That's definitely a hallway with pillars. I think the name matches the constituent parts of the room. Did I ever tell you, like, my scheme for naming restaurants? Just talking about, like, easy naming schemes. So the naming scheme that you would follow for naming a restaurant, I came up with this. The way that you name your restaurant is you take the thing that you produce. And so, let's say that you make shawarma. Or you make, let's say you just make burgers for the sake of making this easy. And then the second word in your name is whatever you operate off of or out of. So let's say that your joint is on a hill. It's now Burger Hill. Or let's say that you do it in a shack. You're now Shawarma Shack. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just take the location that your building is and then what you make. And so what you make is the first word and where you were at is the second word. And that is how you name any restaurant. You're welcome. Now that I've helped you name your restaurant, don't mind me. I don't charge commissions for this advice. Oh, hell. It's one of those teleporty rooms. Oh, shit. So... Oh, it just shifted on me. Yep. Okay, so it's 2 left, 2 right, 2 left, forward, right. I'm never going to make it out of this place unless I write it down. So let me go ahead and get a piece of paper right now because there's no way. The combination's already getting too large for me to remember. So we'll go... I'm getting my pen out right now so that I can do a little bit of righticating. Alright. And so we go... starting from the right. Actually, I should probably plot this out. How big is the room that we've been in so far? Oh my god, it's huge. I might need graph paper for this. So starting from... let me make like a little diagram for myself so that I know what I'm doing. So we enter the room. We start right there on that side. And you can't see what I'm writing right now. I don't have a face cam or anything to show you, but I'm just making a little diagram. And so we're going to go... 2 this way. And then we go 1 left. And then we go 2 more. We go back to the right. And I'm just making like a sequential thing on my piece of paper. Go forward. Forward. So do 2 more. Then I think we went left. Yeah, we went left. And so now you go left again. And I made my diagram on a piece of paper that was too small. This is unfortunate. I've got like this little tiny scrap of paper. And I'm doing the best I can right now. And then we went left again. Forward. Right. Okay, so you go 1 and then you go right. Oh, we're pretty deep in now. Oh, and then it changed on me again. So I guess I don't go... Okay, so we have the 1 right there. You could step right here, But that right there should teleport me. Okay, so I was making sure right there. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I've got my diagram on my page, and I'm making sure that it's accurate. I always error check everything. It's part of map making, to be honest. I always error check, like, everything. That teleports... Wait, all of the combinations take you back to the beginning. Are there multiple combinations here? Oh, no. Hold on. Let's watch out for buttons on the walls, because that's the one thing that I haven't been looking out for while I've been... So wait, how far can I just walk without anything happening? To there. Hold on, let me chart that out one more time. So I can walk out to there. You can actually walk out pretty far, 2 past the end, without getting teleported back. And once again, I haven't really been looking for buttons or anything, but it seems like no matter what you do, you end up back. You can do it on either side. Okay, so now I'm a little bit shook. Let's go back and make sure that I haven't missed anything. Because maybe the key is to, like, get off of this little path and get into, like, some little alcove or something like that. Because I sincerely have no idea right now. We're close to the end of the episode anyway, so if I get hijacked here for too long, I'll just fiddle with it for a little bit in between episodes, and then I'll try and show you the solution when we come back. But not really too stoked about wasting 35 minutes sitting here trying to get this thing working. Not really even knowing what the pillared hallway. I'm trying to make sure that there's no like pun or wordplay or misspelling at play here. The pillared hallway. Maybe you're just supposed to walk in between the pillars or something, and it's like a sequential analysis of whether or not you followed the rules up to the final point. No, that didn't work either. In fact, it may have not worked twice, just to add insult to injury. I don't see a facing or any sort of indicator or distinction between the pillars. It's difficult for a pillar to become distinguished, but if they do, it definitely moves them up in pillar society. Oh, wait a minute. What? I think it moved me when I rotated. Or did I accidentally step too far? What if I walk backwards? That doesn't change anything? Okay. I didn't expect it to, but you never know. Well then, this is definitely a beard scratcher. It seems like you get the same result out no matter what when you go forward, because there don't appear to be any landmines in here that don't allow you to go anywhere. Like, you never get teleported up until the 7th square. You can walk in between every single square and nothing happens. A pillared hallway. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to play with this for a little bit, because I'm not seeing any mechanic at work here. I suppose I could check the pillars for anything. Have I seen a button on a pillar as of right now? I don't think that I have, so checking all the sides right now on the pillars. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be anything clickable or movable on any of the pillars. There's nothing on the floor. There's no switches or anything like that. We've hit just about everything, so yeah. Not really sure what to do with this room right now. This is kind of like one of those rooms where there is... Maybe there's a clue. Let's go back and we'll search another area for right now. We'll kind of run through some of the other spots, and there's the possibility that we may find a note or some form of indication as to what we should be attempting in one of the other areas. So I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Legend of Grimrock. I hope that it was an enjoyable experience for you as well as it was for me. I do like this game quite a bit. So I think I'll probably... Let's head back to this side right here. We'll see every now and again they throw you a note that's like for another part of the dungeon, and maybe we'll find one down here from like 2 Room or something with the pillared hallway, and we'll know what to do after we get the note, or at least we'll have some kind of information to help us proceed forward, because as of right now, the whole thing seems to be sort of shrouded in an air of like, I don't know what to do with this, and there's no factors right now for me to derive any sort of solution from. It seems like we're getting the same result no matter what combination of things we're doing. The only thing that I have to guess is the possibility of maybe you have to step on certain squares in a proper order to avoid getting teleported, but that's never been the case before with any of the teleportation puzzles. So I'm a little bit cautious to think about it that way. So I'll see you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi do.